Hello. We have a great lesson today. It's a longer lesson and it's a lot about writing in English and a good way to create things, a good way to create something that, not only the technical writing, but the creation of a paper, for example, or if you're going to if your teacher tells you, you need to find something to write about and to write about it well, then this lesson helps to teach you how to do that. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm going to make my picture a little smaller so that we can read this together. Okay, so it's talking about the writing process, using the writing process. Let's read this on page 14. Kim, Miguel, Emma, and Jake use the writing process to write. They write stories, reports, and poems. So now it's going to tell us about the writing process. Oh, here's the process that is a good way to think about how to start writing. We have pre-write. That means before you write, what are you going to do? That's for planning your writing. We have the writing part, to write your first draft. That means the first thing. It's not the final draft, but it's the beginning of writing. Then we have to revise, change your writing to make it better. Then we have editing, check your writing. Then we have publish, share your writing. Okay, so those are the 5 points of the writing process. Oh, look here. Here's a butterfly. This person, these people, these children, kind of like you, are thinking about all these things. Look, they have pencils in their hands. They're thinking, what should I write? Oh, this person's making a picture. These people have writing paper, and this one is just thinking about writing. This one is going to begin writing soon. This gentleman over here is thinking about, I think he's thinking about a waffle and strawberries, or he's thinking about this blue guy here. But he's reading a book. See that book he's reading? Yep. So all of these students are thinking about something that they might write. Like that, yeah. So one writer's process. So let's learn by looking at one story, okay? Let's learn together. Let's read this together too. It's about Kim. Follow along and see how Kim uses the writing process to write a story about a living thing. Here we are in the first part, pre-write. Remember, before writing, what do we do? Pre-writing is the first step in the writing process. When you pre-write, you plan your writing. Here is what Kim does to plan her writing. So here's a good example. Think. Kim thinks about living things. List. She lists her ideas. Choose. Kim chooses one idea as her topic. Draw. She draws a picture about her topic. So let's look at that again. First, she thinks about all the living things. And then she writes them down. Oh, I thought about this. I thought about that. And then she chooses one. And then she draws a picture of it. I like that. Let's look. Oh, here, this is where she wrote them down. This is still pre-writing now. She's making some decisions. She wrote down butterfly. She wrote down rabbits. She wrote down cat. What else could she have written down? I think she could have written down, maybe she could have written down a dog. She could have done that, yep. She could have written down a goat. What other living things are there? Let's see. What's the strangest living thing we can think of? Well, what about this one? I love the octopus. So maybe Kim would think of other living things. Another living thing could be well, yes, trees. It's not an animal, but they are alive, aren't they? So there are these things she could have written. Oh, interesting. Oh, there they go. Those are some of our ideas, but we'll go back and keep looking at what Kim is doing. So in pre-writing, oh, look, Kim decided. What did she decide on? Read this word. She decided on a butterfly. So she decided on a butterfly, and now she drew her picture of, oh, look at that butterfly. It's landed on her nose. Do you know how that, I know that's Kim? Do you know how I know that that is Kim? It's Kim because I can see here, these little guys, and we can look over here on the real Kim and that's her. She drew herself, didn't she? And she drew this beautiful butterfly. She made a decision, didn't she? She made a decision to write her report about a butterfly. And when she did that, made that decision, then the next thing was to draw a picture of a butterfly. So she did that. Yep, she sure did. All right, so we had some fun there with Kim and her hair. And we're going to go on. Let's keep going. This is fun. So let's talk about this. Tell what Kim does to plan her writing in pre-writing. What did she do? Well, we just talked about it, didn't we? She thought of many animals, and then she chose one, and then she drew one. The butterfly. Okay, now it's come to a whole new category, a new section called writing. She's going to write. Kim's going to write. When you, and we're going to read now, when you write a first draft, you tell about your topic in sentences. Here's what Kim does to write her first draft. Look. Kim looks at her picture to get ideas. So now she's looking at her picture. Oh, that's a good way to use it. She gets some ideas, and then she thinks. She thinks about what happened, and then she writes. Then Kim writes her first draft. That's simple. Nice. Let's keep going. Oh, there's that picture. She's looking at it. So, one writer's process. Oh, here, Kim's first draft. Here's what she wrote. Let's read it together. I saw when we read together, here I interrupted myself. When we read together, would you try to say it before I say it? Okay, get ready. Here we go again. I saw a butterfly. The butterfly landed on my nose, and it tickled me. We read that, didn't we? But there are a few problems with Kim's writing, but it's really well done. She had some good ideas. Let's talk about it. Look, there's Kim again with a here. Let's talk about it. Tell what Kim does to write her first draft. Well, we did talk about it, didn't we? She looked at her picture, she remembered the story, and she wrote the story that she remembered about the butterfly. And it's fun to read it. Can you add anything to that? What else did she do? Here we come to the next part of writing. Revise. Revise. Let's read this. When you revise, you change your writing to make it better. Sometimes add words to your writing. Sometimes you add words to your writing. Here is what Kim does to revise her writing. She reads. Kim reads her first draft to a partner. Oh, now she's got somebody else. She's going to read it for somebody to get their feedback, to hear what they have to say. Kim reads her first draft to a partner. Listen. She listens to her partner's questions. So her partner had some comments and questions. So she listens to that and then change. Then Kim changes her writing. So you can use a friend or a parent or a grandparent or a neighbor. You can use somebody to read it to. I don't think it should be your dog, because your dog would listen very well but would not be able to answer back and ask questions unless you have a magical dog of some kind. So I think it should be a person, and you should read it out loud like Kim did and see what their questions are, and then listen and then change. Let's see what Kim did. Here's Kim again. Kim's revising. Here's what she revised. Oh, look. Let's read it. Remember, you're going to read just a little before me. I saw a yellow. See this little mark right here? It means go up there because there's a word we want to put right in here. I saw a yellow butterfly. The butterfly landed on my nose. It tickled me. Oh, see, Kim thought of the word yellow. It was a yellow butterfly. Maybe her friend asked her, what color was the butterfly? Or something like that, huh? So she changed by adding one word. She added an adjective, a describing word, and she changed just that butterfly to a yellow butterfly because that was the color of the one on her nose. Nice. And her friend helped her do that by asking a question. So now we've come to edit. To edit. Let's see what it says. When you edit your writing, you check for capital letters, end marks, and spelling. So now we're getting technical, right? We have gone and got the story and we've started to write the story. But now we have to make sure that our writing is correct. Capital letters are tricky sometimes. Well, there are some very easy rules about capital letters. And the end marks, there are only a few end marks that end your sentence. So you have to check those too. And spelling, how do you spell? Now that is an ongoing issue. Everybody in the world has questions about spelling. Some people might spell very well, but they still can make a mistake. So spelling is really important, that we have a good resource to find out how to spell something. So let's see what Kim does here with editing. Here is what Kim does to edit her writing. Read. Kim reads her revised writing. Check. She checks her sentences for capital letters, end marks, and spelling. So she went through very specifically and checked those. Correct. Kim corrects her sentences. So here's her checklist. Capital letters first, end marks second, spelling. Okay, so she's got her checklist, and this is Kim. Kim's editing. Oh, let's see what she did. Try to say the word before me. I saw a yellow butterfly. Oh, look, there's a capital letter. Why? There's a period there. And so she needed the first letter of a sentence is capital always. So she changed that. Good. The butterfly landed on my nose. Oh, look. She had to put a period there. That's the end of that sentence. And then the next letter is capital. Good. It tickled me. Oh, she checked that word tickled and it was spelled wrong. And then she made it right. She wrote in the proper spelling for tickled. And then she put a period right there. Well, there's that yellow butterfly up on her head. Let's talk about that. We just did talk about that. Yes. That's what Kim did in her editing. She checked. What were the 3 things she checked? Capital letters. And then she checked the end mark on sentences. And then she checked for spelling. 3 things. Publish. Publish is a fancy word for just being done and sharing it with your teacher, sharing it with your family, with your friends. And when you give it to them, you say, I just finished this. It's done. And when it's done, you can give it to someone. You can turn it in at school, or they call it publishing. Sometimes people do publish things in magazines, and it's done, and it appears in a newspaper or a magazine. So when you're done, you can say publish. When you publish your writing, you share it with others. Here's what Kim does to publish her writing. Think. Kim thinks of a title for her story. That's a few words that are a good way to introduce your story. The title. Write. She writes a neat, final copy of her story and finishes her picture. Oh, so she makes sure it looks the best it can look. She makes sure that the picture is in it beautifully. I bet she changed the butterfly to yellow. Share. Then she shares it when she's done. She shares her writing with her friends. So here we have them. She's sharing it. Great. Oh, and there's the picture. We were right. She made that butterfly yellow and she made it colorful and funny. It's a funny picture. If I saw that picture, I would want to read her story because something strange is happening there. How many people have you ever had a butterfly on your nose? I have. Have I? I think one time I did. It was an orange butterfly on my nose. Yes. So let's look at her final story, her published story, Kim's published story. And there's the picture. Here we go. Let's read it together. You read just a little before me. My butterfly. Oh, that's the title. My butterfly. I saw a yellow butterfly. The butterfly landed on my nose. It tickled me. Beautiful. No mistakes. It looks so nice. She must have rewritten it again on a new piece of paper. So it looked great. And what would happen if she made a mistake right here? What would happen if she was drawing along and she wrote this one and she was writing and all of a sudden her pencil slipped and oh darn it, I've made a mistake. Maybe she could erase it so it looks perfect, but she might want to just get a new piece of paper and start again. You just want it to look really nice, don't we? And Kim did. She did a good job. Good job, Kim. So we're going to talk now about common and proper nouns. You know what a noun is? I think it's going to tell us right here. I'll tell you right now, this is a noun. This thing right here, that's a noun. This is a noun. I have some matches here. A box. This is a noun right here. Look at my phone. This is a noun. A thermos, something we can hang on to and touch. That's one of the things. It can also be a person. I, Timothy, am a noun. Or just a person is a noun. It can also be a place. This room is a noun. Minnesota is a noun. China is a noun. So it's a person, place, or a thing. But let's see what they have to say here. I love nouns. You can grab onto them. Whoa. A common noun names any person, place, or thing. A proper noun names a special person, place, or thing. It begins with a capital letter. So a proper noun always has that capital letter. So a common noun and a proper noun, it's important to know the difference. A common noun would mean I am a man. A proper noun, I am Timothy. Do you understand? We can have anyone that's a man that is a man, or maybe I'll say it like this, I am a person. That's a common noun. I am Timothy. See the difference? Here we go. Let's write some common nouns and some proper nouns. Common noun, a boy. Yeah, a boy is but a proper noun, a certain boy whose name is Frank. That's a proper noun, right? And look, do you see the capital? They had to do, oh, that was bad. I just did a really bad circle. They had to do a capital here because a proper noun is capitalized if it's a name, right? So let's say here, a common noun is a river. A river, one of my favorite things. But what about a certain river? Then we have to capitalize it. Then it's a proper noun. And we have the Ohio River. The name is capitalized. How about this one? I love a good book, a book. But what about a certain book, a proper noun, the name of a book, the Zoo Book? Oh, there's a book called the Zoo Book, and we have to capitalize that because it is then the specific name of the book, the Zoo Book, proper nouns. So do you understand that? I think it's really important. Those things are tricky. And if you can just take a moment and really think about this and try to remember it, you won't have to do it. Some people don't really quite get it, and it takes them a year or two to remember how to do this. And it's really important. What to capitalize, what not to capitalize, and what is a noun, right? Let's practice this. Yes. Read the words below. Tell if the word is a common noun or a proper noun. Remember the difference? Let's look at the words. Family. Watsons. Right. Sister. Susan. Pacific Ocean. Ocean. Well, when they give them to you like this, then you have a hint, right? Because a common noun does not have a capital letter, and a proper noun does have a capital letter, so you can know right away which one they are by the hint. But sometimes you have to do it the other way around, and you have to say, if you're writing, oh, that's a proper noun, and you have to capitalize it. Or if it's a noun that's not proper, if it's a common noun, no capital, right? So these, let's just look through here. I'm gonna, we just kind of, did this out loud, but let's just remember. Let's underline the proper nouns, right? Family, nope. Watsons, yep, that's a proper noun. Sister, that's a common noun. Susan, proper noun. Pacific Ocean, well, that tells you the name of a certain ocean. That's a proper noun, and it's capitalized. So there and there. And ocean, nope, that's just any ocean in the world. So there we did it. Let's keep going. This is fun. I like this stuff. Using capital letters, it's going to remind us of some of this important stuff. When you follow the rules of writing, your reader can understand what you write. Here are the rules for using capital letters. Capital letters. Use a capital letter for the first word of a sentence. The first word is always capitalized. Look at this one. Look at this one right here. The walrus has two big tusks. So that T is the first letter of the whole sentence of the, so we need to capitalize it. Use a capital letter for the word I. This is the other one. This is really important. Yesterday, I drew a walrus. Anytime you say the word I, you capitalize it. It's always capitalized. Always. You never, ever say the word I and spell it like that. Okay? You don't spell it like that. It always has to be like this right here. This is right. This big red one is correct. Nice and tall. It's like if you're going to go stand up very straight and say, I. See how straight that is? How straight that is? I. Big, tall, capital letter. That's what it is. Always remember to capitalize the word I. It's really important. So we'll keep moving along here. Those are the two places to capital. The first word of a sentence always is capitalized, and the word I. Yeah, that's a good word. It's so simple. So here we have a worksheet. You're going to write your name here. Let's just see. Maybe I should write my name here. Well, because it's my name, it's a proper noun, I'm going to capitalize it, aren't I? Oh, this is kind of fun. Writing my name here on our worksheet. You should probably write your name on yours if you have it there. Maybe you've copied it off and you can write your name. There's my name. Capital letters. Here's our worksheet. Use a capital letter at the beginning of each sentence. Also use the capital letter for the word I. So here we go. Harbor seals eat fish. Harbor seals eat fish. Do you see what they did there? May I eat some fish too? Oh, see, it's not the first word, but we capitalize it because it's the standing straight I, right? Put 3 lines under the letter that should be a capital letter in each sentence. Oh, they're going to try to trick us now. They're going to try to trick us. So let's just get our lines ready. Put 3 lines. Seagulls eat fish. Can you see? Try that one, and I'm going to keep going on. Which one needs to be capital? How about this one? Once I saw a seagull flying. Something in there needs to be capitalized, right? How about this one, number 3? It dove into the water. Well, something in there needs to be capitalized. Do you know which one? And number 4, then I saw the gull fly away with a fish. Something in there needs to be fixed. Do you know which one? I'm going to circle the things now that should be different. I'm going to circle the mistakes. Did you know that one? Did you know that one? Do you know that one? The first letter there and that one. Those are the mistakes. They should all be capitalized. They should be big letters. I bet you were right. I bet you already knew. This is so much fun and it's easy. Well, look, copy these sentences and use the correct capital letters, okay? So you should, if you have this sheet, you can print it off and you can do this. Copy these letters onto these right there and use the correct capital letters, okay? You can stop this video right now and do that. That's what I think would be best. Do that and then turn it back on and we will decide if you were right or if you're still learning. Ready? Go ahead. Okay, so I'm going to type these and I'll show you the right answer, okay? Now, when you write these, you're going to want to make it quite a bit bigger. There, we did it. Maybe you used 2 lines, but you can see that I made a change, didn't I? It wasn't quite right. I made a change right here. This is not right. That little one has to be big, so I made it a capital. Good. I wonder if you did the same. I hope so. Let's go to the next one. Let's see if you were right. So now if you were going to write this, I'm going to say this again. If you were writing this, I would hope that when you make a letter, you would use this whole place for your T and your H, right? And you'd learn how to write very beautifully, much more beautifully than I'm writing right now for the word the, right? But since I'm typing these things, I think it would take too long for me to do it like that. So let me just type it out. Here's the answer. Here we go. The pelican has a pouch. Can you see what I changed? Yep, you're right. This right here is, that's wrong right there. And this is right, capital, right? Good. So let's see what's next. Write a sentence about a bird that you have seen. Oh, so now you have to write your own sentence about a bird you have seen. This is getting fun. So I'm going to stop this now, and or maybe you already stopped it and you're coming back. So you have to check your own work here. I can do one of a bird I've seen. I wonder why I jumped down there. So here are, I'm going to change this to, because it wants one sentence. I'm going to make a comma and there. This is my sentence about a bird I've seen, and I think it is correct. I know it is. So let's read it. My favorite bird is a hummingbird. It has a beautiful green throat. Well, we're not really talking about commas too much, but since I said it was probably perfectly correct, I think I'm going to change one thing. I'm going to add, oh, it's not going to let me. Okay. There should be a comma right here. I can do that like this. There should just be a little comma here between the two adjectives, beautiful and green. And so everything, I did something though that I also added, because this is the proper noun. We didn't just say bird. The proper noun should have a capital H also. My and my. Why is that capitalized? Because it's the first word of the sentence. And there's a period at the end. So there, I wonder what yours was. I wish I could hear yours, because I'll bet you have a good sentence too about a bird. Let's continue. Proofread guide, a proofreader's guide. Oh, these are some nice words that we can learn. Keep, you say it before me, okay? Keep, kind, kitten, meow, knee, new, no. Interesting words. Here's the L with a capital L and a small l. Let's read these. Last, try to say it before me. Left, leg, let, like, little, live, or you can say live, either way, depending on the context. Long and look. Let's try the M's. There's a capital M and a small m. Made, make, many, try to say it before me. Me, Monday, there's a proper noun, right? More, most, must, my. Here's an N, capital N and a small n. Name, need, new, next, nine, no, knows, not, now. And O's, of, off, old, on, one, or, orange, hour, out. Here's the P section. Paper, people, play, please, pretty, pull, purple, push, put, cue, quack, whack, 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 question, quick, quiet, quit, quiz. I said quiet very loudly, didn't I? Let me say that again. Quiet. Okay. And R, rain, ran, read, read, ride, write, ring, round, run. S's, said, Saturday, saw, say, see, 7, she, 6, Sunday. Here are the T's that they're giving us. 10, that, the, they, this, 3, Thursday, Tuesday, 2. Now that's interesting, right? Because there are 3 different sounds, and they even say the word 3. There are 3 different sounds for T here, aren't they? There's the T, which is t, t, and then there's the TH, which is either with your voice or without your voice. Sounds just like a snake or something. So we have the and t. Let's go through them again, thinking about that. 10, that, the, they, this, 3, Thursday, Tuesday, 2. Here are the U's. Under, until, up, upon, us, and use. Why is that one different? It's because the E, the silent E at the end, makes that U say its name. It doesn't say it says you. So it has to say you, its name. Its name is a U, it's a U, right? So it has to say its name because that silent E at the end, or magic E, huh? Here's a V, van, vegetable, very, vet, visit, and voice. Here are the W's. Was, we, Wednesday. Now we say Wednesday. We don't put that D sound in there. If you were going to write it, you might say Wednesday, like 3 different. That's how I remembered how to spell Wednesday. Wednesday, Wednesday. But we say Wednesday without the D. We were, this is the word were, what and white. X, X-ray, fax, fix, mix, 6, wax. Oh, that was kind of fun to say those words. Y, yawn, year, yellow, yes, you, your. And finally, here are the Z's. I like Z's. Zebra, 0, zigzag, zip, zoo, and zoom. In Chinese, do you have the sound z, z? It's kind of fun. It sounds like there's a bee, a bee that's stuck in your teeth. So it, can you say it? It happens right inside there. I love that sound. Huh? So here we are, a new part. Read the words in the box below and write the words in A, B, C order. So we're talking about alphabetical order. That's the big word for it. Okay, so you're going to write these, but you're going to decide which one comes first in the alphabet. Right? Penguin, moose, octopus, nest. Now, if you want to turn this off right now or pause it, then come back and I will write them in alphabetical order. and we'll check their work. Okay, let's do this. The first one in alphabetical order is moose. The second one in alphabetical order is nest. The third one in alphabetical order is, oh, it's that word that I like, an octopus. And the fourth one in alphabetical order is, well, let's get it on track here. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm going to just have to move this down and write it here so that we can see it. It is, I remember it, a penguin. M-N-O-P, right? That's right. Those are all right. We got lucky. Those are in a row right in the alphabet. So did you get that right? Moose, nest, octopus, penguin. Alphabetical order. Let's go on. Our next exercise, write the word from the box below that tells about each picture. So you can see this picture here and here and here and figure out which word goes with which one. You can stop that now and do that if you'd like. Okay, let's decide which is which. I think I know the answer to this. Yep. And this one? Yep. And this one? I like these guys. And this one? Yep, that's what they look like. That's right. Moose, nest, octopus, penguin. Cool. Let's keep on rolling. Write a sentence about an animal that builds a nest. Well, now this is your job. I want you to do this, and you have to check in with whoever's helping you there. And if you're on your own, then just do it and then show it to someone later. Go ahead and stop this now, pause it, and write your sentence about an animal that builds a nest. Okay, we're back. I hope that you wrote a good sentence. Animals that build nests are amazing. Many of us would describe a bird, and that would be really good if you described a bird. I'm going to describe a bird. This is a long sentence, but they do build nests. Let me see if I can stretch this out a little bit here. Well, that helps. Yeah. The trumpeter swan is pure white. Can you read this? And it is the biggest bird that is able to fly. I love trumpeter swans, and they do build great nests, and they come back to the same nest oftentimes. I wonder what I wish so much I could hear your sentence about something that could build a nest. What else? There are some unlikely things that build nests, right? There are mice build nests. And yeah, there are some little four-leggeds that build nests too, you know. So let's keep going. This is fun. ABC order number 5. So we're still talking about alphabetical order, ABC order, let's say the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Do you know how to say that? Do you hear how I went kind of fast in certain sections? Let me try it one more time. Say it with me. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Yeah, that's a nice rhythm for the alphabet. People that know the alphabet well have that rhythm. Here we have some words, and we're going to put them in the proper order. We have a rabbit, we have socks, we have a quilt, we have a turtle. I bet you that, remember how last time the words were all lined up? Let's line this one up. Let's go through the alphabet till we find one of these. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. No, there's none yet. H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Nope, nothing yet. Q, R, S. Oh, there's an S. And then T, U, V. Q, R, S, T. Oh, there they are. So there they are right in a row. So we would go ahead and stop this now, pause it, and write them in alphabetical order. Okay, we are back. So this first one would be this one right here. Right? Is that what you put first too? How about this one for second? Is that what you put for second? And how about this one for third? Now we already know what's going to be fourth because it's the next one, right? It's going to be turtle. I'm not sure. I'll put it right down here somewhere. I like turtles. Turtle, fourth. So quilt, rabbit, socks, turtle. That is the right answer for the alphabetical order of those. Let's keep going. Write the words from the box on the lines below and fill in the missing letters. Oh, stop. Why don't you pause this and just take these words and figure out how to write them in. There are a lot of hints here, aren't there? So I'll just stop and then I'll give you the right answer. Go ahead and pause. Okay, so the first one I can see is the word quilt. You would say Q-U-I-L-T. The second one I can see is the word rabbit, R-A-B-B-I-T. Did you get that one right? The next one I can see here is the word socks, S-O-C-K-S. Did you fill in that? And the fourth one finally is the word turtle, T-U-R-T-L-E. Did you get those right? Write a sentence using one of the four words above. So you can pause it now, and you should write your sentence, and you have to choose one of these four words: a rabbit, socks, quilt, turtle. Just one of the words, and write a sentence. Pause. Okay, I'm going to write a sentence using one of the words above. Just a short sentence there. Can you read it? My socks are warm. I wrote about my socks today because right now in Minnesota it's cold and my socks feel good. They are warm. Yep, that's why. That's why I wrote that. I wish I could hear your sentences. Which word did you choose? Yeah, and I wish I could hear your sentence. Please read it for somebody. Let's keep going. We're still talking about alphabetical order, ABC order. Here we go. Read the words in the box below and write the words in ABC order. Zebra, vase, umbrella, yarn, wagon, x-ray. So you need to figure out alphabetical order. Let's go through the alphabet and figure out which one of these we find first. The Z, the V, the U, the Y, the W, or the X. Ready? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I don't see any of those there. H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. I don't see any of those there. Q, R, S. Nope. T, U. There's a U for umbrella. Right there. There's a U. We found our first one. V, W, X, Y, and Z. Oh, there they all are right there. Can you stop it now and write them in alphabetical order? Okay, so let's look at these and see what the right alphabetical order is. It's hard for me to fit these in, but I think I can do it here. I may have to write some of them so the first one in alphabetical order that we found is umbrella. Is that what you have under number 1? There we go. And then the next one, number 2, is going to be vase. And number 3 is going to be wagon. Did you have that? And number 4 is going to be X-ray. And number 5 is going to be yarn. And number 6, which I'm going to have to squeeze in here, is zebra. There they are. Is that what you have? That's the proper alphabetical ABC order, right? So let's go on. Here we go. Read the words in the box below and write the word that answers each riddle. Oh, good, we get to solve a riddle. So, oh, look, and they give us a hint of how many letters are here, these spaces. So, why don't you do these, and then I'll come back and we will answer them. Go ahead and pause it now. Oh, there you are. Okay, so the first one, I keep you dry when it rains. Which one is that? Right, an umbrella. Umbrella, hold it above your head. Number 2, I hold flowers. What is that? Let's see, 4 letters. Right, a vase. Good. Try to say it before I do. Number 3, I have wheels. You're right, a wagon. Good. I am used by doctors. Oh, I know, that's an X-ray. And finally, the last one, no, 2 more. I am used to make a pair of mittens. Do you know? Have you ever done that? Yarn, knitting, right? The word yarn goes in there. And finally, the last one, I am a black and white animal. Zebra. I bet you had those right. So we're going to, you get to fill in these blanks with your own word, because everyone has different tastes and different loves and different ideas about the world. So you can fill in your own. So you can see this first one says, I like the color blank. So would you put a color in there? And then you can read the other sentences all the way down, and we will, and then pause. Let's see. So you do it, pause it, and then we'll talk about each one. Go ahead and pause now. Okay. we're back. So what did you put in for your color? The first one, I like the color blank. I'm going to put in a color that I like. Purple. What's your favorite color? It doesn't ask your favorite color. It just says, I like the color. I kind of like all colors, but I put purple today. The next sentence. Blank is a bright color. Oh, what is a bright color? I put in that one, yellow. I think that's a bright color. So I wonder what you put in. I wish I could hear. Let's go to some more. Blank is a pretty color. What is a pretty color? What did you put? I'm going to put, I'm not even sure if I can spell this, but I think I can. There's my pretty color for today. It's a strange color, and maybe in China you don't know that word as well. It's a beautiful blue color called periwinkle. Oh, in China you do know it well if you speak English, because it's one of the colors, but it's not always said. A lot of people, even in America, don't know the word periwinkle. So you can know it now. And here, the next one, some birds are blank. What would you write? Some birds are what? I'm going to write this. Some birds are messy. Have you ever had a bird make a nest and then you go below the nest and there's a bunch of stuff there that has fallen down? Usually, maybe little bits of food, but a lot of poop. Birds can be messy. They're beautiful. Outside, it works just fine. Inside, you have to clean their cage if you have a pet bird. And finally, the last one has two. Leaves, you know, the leaves on trees. I think maybe I put that, I'm just got confused for a moment. Some birds are messy. That's true. But you know what? I kind of think that they're looking for colors. So we could write this. Some birds are blue. That's probably a better answer. And then finally, last but not least, leaves can be, now these are colors, leaves and trees. In Minnesota, we have so many amazing leaf colors. So leaves can be green, or leaves can be orange. Yeah, in the fall. In the autumn, they can be orange. So those are different colors. These are all beautiful colors that we just talked about. How cool. I like colors. So now, are we at the end of we're at the end of our lesson so soon. That was really nice to talk about colors with you. And also, we talked a lot about writing. We talked about proper nouns, which are capitalized. We talked about common nouns, which are not capitalized. We also talked about when to use capitals in our writing, right? At the beginning of each sentence, that first letter is capitalized. And anytime we use the letter I, then we capitalize it with a big, tall letter I. So that's good to know. And we also checked for endpoints at the end of sentences, like a little period at the end. Some other lesson will talk about different kinds of endpoints. But then before that, at the very beginning, we talked about writing a paper and how you might begin to write a paper, right? Or to write a sentence or a few sentences together. And it brought us through that 5-step process. I think we should go maybe back there and just talk about, remember those 5 steps. Here they are. Pre-write, plan your writing. Write your first draft. Revise, change your writing to make it better. Edit, check your writing and the spelling, right? And other endpoints and everything. And then finally publish, you share it with a friend. So anyway, it was a good lesson. And I hope that you have a great day for the rest of the day, whatever you're doing today. Okay. Remember, you're a beautiful person. Take care.